All experience is preceded by mind, led by mind, made by mind. Speak or act with a corrupted mind, and suffering follows, as the wagon wheel follows the hoof of the ox. All experience is preceded by mind, led by mind, made by mind. Speak or act with a peaceful mind, and happiness follows, like a never departing shadow. So that is a little extract from a Buddhist scripture and kind of sets the scene for this video, which is about mindfulness. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while because I feel like I want to make a few videos about philosophy and spirituality because they are a big part of my life, and I'd just like to share my ideas and thoughts. I'm by no means an expert on any of these things. I have a lot to learn, but I really enjoy researching things like this and kind of developing my own thoughts, my own ideas. So I hope you enjoy it. Mindfulness to me is a very, very big part of daily life, and I think that it should be a big part of daily life. As I mentioned before, it is rooted in Buddhism, but mindfulness is in a lot of different religions and philosophical kind of teachings and thoughts. To me, mindfulness is basically taking a step back from yourself, almost as if you're looking at yourself in the third person, as if yourself is watching you and everything that you do. I think this is really important because I think a lot of the problems of the world today are caused by a lack of mindfulness, and if you can cure the individual, then you can cure the population. And I think there is a lot of illness, mentally, physically and spiritually, in the world at the moment, and I think that if we narrow it down to the individual and help the individual grow in different areas of their life, then that will overall help the world become a better, more peaceful place. I think that's true in my eyes. So when we're talking about mindfulness, it's about thinking what you are doing, like what you are doing with your life, because it's so easy to switch off. It's so easy to kind of go through life and kind of go through the motions and get sucked into things that take advantage of that. And I think a lot of big corporations, big organisations really take advantage of the people that are completely switched off and prey on their sort of basic instincts that we all share. But with mindfulness, we can learn to live in a way that is more peaceful for ourselves, our environment, and for other people as well, in my opinion. A part of Buddhism is called the Eightfold Path, which I studied a couple of years ago, and I'll just read you the 8 parts of this. So there is right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Now I'll give you some time to kind of think about those things that are all floating around my face right now. But basically it's asking yourself questions, and when you ask questions you actually focus. So if you say, what have I been drinking today? It focuses attention immediately, and mindfulness is part of that. So mindfulness is thinking, what am I actually doing? So what am I drinking? What am I eating? How am I walking? How is my posture? How is my breathing? What am I thinking? What am I looking at? How am I being to other people? How am I affecting the environment? What am I buying? What are the bad things that are going through my head? All these different things that are really, really innately part of our daily life, and just switching on just a few of those things at a time. I'm still learning. It's just part of my journey to learn different ways of doing this, but switching a few of those awarenesses on can lead to so many benefits, because then it makes you in control of your life rather than just reacting almost like with a reflex to things that are just happening. So if something bad happens, I'm sad. If something irritates me, I'm angry. these things are just like almost reflex actions, which are just like a switch has just come on, because there's no awareness of, there's no out of body awareness, looking at yourself, as I was saying before, like looking at yourself in the third person. There's no awareness of that, so then you just react in a really, really structured and obvious way. Whereas if you're more mindful, it means you can actually choose how you feel towards things. And obviously things that's going to affect us, that are going to make us sad, that's going to make us angry. But if we take a step back and look at those feelings almost objectively, it means that we can manage them and then control our actions in a more peaceful way, rather than without any thought. I think if more people practice mindfulness, even just thinking about it just a little bit, just if you just tip the balance so that you're doing more things you're aware of rather than things you're not aware of, then that will affect your life, that will affect your day directly, and it will affect what happens in your life, what you attract into your life, and how you feel generally. I think one of the reasons why parkour has stuck so rigidly to my life as well is through mindfulness, because when we are mindful, it means we are directly focused in the present. And when you're doing parkour, there's no way you can really be thinking about the future or the past when you're doing a certain movement. You have to be thinking about how you're acting and how you're moving in that moment, in that certain way. There's nothing about it. You can't be thinking about what you're having for dinner when you're doing a Kong Pri. Do you know what I mean? So in that way, parkour really speaks to me through that mindfulness and helps me find that peace within myself to live just in the moment. If you want to learn a bit more about mindfulness, I'd highly recommend listening to Alan Watts, a particularly famous Buddhist teacher who kind of popularised it in Western culture. I read quite a lot of his stuff. Zen Buddhism in particular goes into different methods of mindfulness. I'm not actually Buddhist myself, but I do take a lot of different Buddhist ways of living and ways of thinking, because I find they're most truthful for me and can help me in the most positive way. So I'd never say I'm Buddhist, but I can't, disagree with a lot of the stuff that they say. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Just a little one about mindfulness. I'm going to be doing a few more of these if you liked it, so let me know if you liked it or not. That'd be really cool. And I hope you are peaceful today, tomorrow, for the rest of your life, and consider mindfulness as a way of thinking and as a way of living. So thanks for watching, much love, see you later, guys.